Carpenter up the hill. Walsh in close contention. He's winding it on. That thrust about. Here we go, heads down then, and the final race of the year for the MX2 class is go! Up the hill they roar, and we see who comes out in front. It's going to be a KTM.
Charlie Heyman.
Charlie Heyman grabs the whole
250
shot.
Two-stroke.
Woohoo! What a ride, and Charlie Heyman leads in his first day of adult competition in the REVO. Oh, there goes Walsh! Walsh went down right before the final call at the first little tabletop in the middle of the valley, and Walsh bashes into the camera, and he starts right at the back of the field. What a nightmare for Walsh. Now he really does need to pull on the coals to try and get this overall win sewn up.
A nightmare for Walsh, but it's going to make an entertaining race for us.
It really is. Track side, you're in for a treat because Walsh will tear through the back of the pack. He's already approached the back of the stream right at the tail end there. We look towards the Maxxis Tyres corner for where Walsh is going to be. But what about this rider, Charlie Heyman?
We had him in here. He's won a load of championships in the youth level. We said, how do you ride from the front? How do you approach a race? He says he likes to try and stay relaxed. Looks like he's training. Let me tell you right now, everything's changed. Because if he does not get nervous at this point, once he realises, or whatever, throughout this race, that it's his debut in MX2, and he's got a genuine shot of winning it.
Look at the gap. Heyman is absolutely pulled it clear here. We can just see on our screens how far he's already pulled in front. This is like another Youth 125 race for him. Absolutely crazy. Adam Collins and Mickey Ellis banging bars down the hill. I think it helps that a lot of top riders have really struggled in this first lap.
I was just going to say, Ben, and to be fair, a lot of the big hitters, with all due respect to, like, you know, Jamie, Adam there in second. I mean, Jamie's back there in focus, so Jamie's obviously at the front. But beyond that, there's a lot of riders that don't necessarily always run top three on the opening lap. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I am sure that Jamie Carpenter's going to have something to say about this with Charlie Heyman. He won't want Charlie coming in and basically stealing his thunder for second place in the championship. I know, like, he's got it locked down pretty much, Jamie, isn't he?
Yes,
second.
He has. Yeah, there's no doubt about that.
But he want to win, but he's in a good shout for the overall, of course, with Walsh down the field now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's definitely a good chance of that for Jamie Carpenter there. If he's even if he finishes second again, I can't believe it's even a possibility that Heyman could win on his first day in the adult class. But this is a really exciting talent. Just got to say for for Mr. Carpenter there, obviously we got a Goswell Limited helmet design that I've been pointed out to ask out there. I'm not going to give too many shout outs as requests, but yeah, seeing as one of the first, that's all quite
fair
good.
Enough.
And
absolutely.
we also had a message through from Anthony Sutton of the TMX fame. He's telling us that Mara on the side of Jamie Law's bike means mate in Cumbrian.
Well, you know, there you go. When you got the locals, you need the local knowledge, don't you? So he's been up there long enough, that part of the world, to know what it means. Okay, that's cool. Good. So there we go. Maybe he's just running them on his farewell race.
Yeah, that's
like
it.
That, I think so. Yeah, it's a good
maybe his knee was covering up the bye bit. I don't know. Bye-bye, but there we go. So yeah, Carpenter hustling through the waves very nicely there. He's got a bit of a lead already over Adam Collins as he tries to catch the flying Charlie Heyman out in front. I still can't believe that Heyman is that far in front on a 252 stroke, but Dylan Walsh has made his way through about half the pack by the end of that first lap, and I'm sure he's higher up than that already. 12th place, Dylan went across the stripe, and he had a few seconds to catch up to the other riders. Heyman is already out of shot, like he's a 125 youth class race all over again, and looking absolutely stunning on the SGP Moto 2-stroke 250 KTM, looking immaculate as always. And yeah, I mean, it's hard to see what might go wrong. He's just absolutely flying. It's just brilliant to see. Incredible.
The only thing I'd say, Ben, is like he's been on the, obviously at the MX Nationals, he jumped in on the 252 stroke, went in the expert class. Yes. And in the second moto, he did get tired more than he had on the 125. It was noticeable. He said the weight of it, you know, riding the 250. That's the only thing I can say at this point. And obviously Jamie Carpenter will have different things to say, and Jamie's closing in. Yes, it really is. And we look to see where, well, it's like Ellis has fallen back a little bit there because Carlton Husband's up to 4th, Charlie Cole 5th, Callum Mitchell 6th, Mickey Ellis 7th, Liam Garland in 8th, and Alfie Jones up to 9th place.
Walsh has surprised me by not making any further progress. He's still in 12th at the moment, just behind.
But he's got
Grimshaw.
Talvicki with him as well. So those two are going to like basically come through the pack together, I would have thought.
Yeah, both had a major issue there, so be a very entertaining trackside to see how they come through the pack.
You can see the damage left there.
It's absolutely trashed.
By Dylan Walsh, where he went through the fencing and into that Dawson barrier and then he took out our camera. Got a great shot of it though.
It was, yeah, he fell right into the camera. Made the camera guy shake the foundations there. Mickey Ellis in shot now, he's 7th place ahead of Liam Garland. Just behind them I just saw a flash of green, and I think that was Dylan Walsh attacking Tom Grimshaw. So they're 11th, 12th and 13th trying to make their way forward. Jamie Law's next on their shopping list in 10th as Ellis attacks Callum Mitchell down the bottom of the Maxis corner hill. And yeah, certainly struggling to get up that hill after the tight line there was Mickey Ellis, so perhaps a lack of traction there. Here comes Garland, top Kawasaki at the moment, which would have been a surprise to him. But here comes the REVO 7 machine of Dylan Walsh, getting closer, I'm sure. Alfie Jones in another good position, 9th place for our reigning MXY2 250 champion from last season, a title he stitched up here at Landrake last year. And there goes Ellis up the hill. Somebody's not obeyed the no tear off rule. There's one flapping on the track in there. Anyway, there we go.
Let's just say that could have been one from years gone by.
Yes, it worked his way out of the hedge.
Yeah.
Oh, back end steps out of Callum Mitchell as he goes down Landrake Hill. And he is trying to close in. Actually, it's Charlie Cole and Carlton Husband are higher Kawasaki's than Liam Garland. I apologise to both of those riders and teams. So yeah, Carlton Husband having a nice ride in 4th place and Charlie Cole 5th. So with the exit of 2 of the top riders in the race after race 1 and problems for some of the others in race 2, these riders getting a chance to get further up. But meantime, Dylan Walsh comes into shot, big, dirty. What did we say about getting your kit dirty in race 1? He's just gone unobliged, and that is Dylan Walsh across the line. And he is up to 8th place there, passing Garland, Jones, Law and Grimshaw in that lap. And I'm sure Grimshaw will be looking to get his teeth in and follow him up through. In fact, Grimshaw's gone up to 10th at the moment already.
That was lovely by Jamie Carpenter at the top of the hill. He actually used one of the braking bumps as a little jump and sort of launched into the corner over the remaining bumps. Nice move. He's had a great season, as we said. You know, okay, look, he hasn't won the championship, but really, you know, you'd expect Conrad Muse or Dylan Walsh. You know, I mean, Dylan Walsh didn't start the series in the championship, so. No. But you would have expected Conrad to go out and win it. That's exactly what he did. And yeah, as we said, fair play to Jamie Carpenter and the GRT Impact team on really what has been just a brilliant first year as a pro team. What I mean by that is it's the first time they've had a pro rider in their ranks.
Absolutely, yeah.
They've normally concentrated on youth racing, so well done to everybody over there at GRT Impact KTM.
Yeah, a couple of Kawasaki teams doing well for themselves. Carlton Husband on the Phoenix Even Strokes Kawasaki number 6 and Charlie Cole on the Blades Bikes Kawasaki number 82. All doing very well here up in the top order there. Husband 4th and Cole in 5th. But they will surely start to feel the heat from behind as the REVO 7 Kawasaki of Dylan Walsh makes his way through. Carpenter getting choppy up the hill as he starts to approach the back wheel of Charlie Heyman. Here is the battle for the lead then, the top left corner of the circuit as they plummet down Landrake Hill. And Heyman has a good few bike legs on Carpenter still, but Carpenter's reeling him in, as you would expect, Jeff.
You would. You know, when I spoke earlier on, I said about he might feel the pressure as this one goes on, the opportunity to win your first ever pro race on your debut weekend. But actually, knowing Charlie and knowing how relaxed he is about it, I'm not so sure, because I think he probably came into this thinking, well, nobody's really expecting me to win. No. People know I've maybe got the talent and the ability to do it, but nobody's probably really expecting me to do it.
No, I mean, he said when he was in here, top 10 was his goal. He qualified 6th.
I think he's on track for that.
He qualified 6th, and he was eventually 6th in race 1. No, he was 5th in race 1, in fact. So yeah, that's he certainly exceeded.
I mean, if he keeps where he is, not only will he win the race, I mean, a 1.5 will be close to putting him on the box, wouldn't it?
I think you're not far off. Yeah, Grimshaw is up there currently in 9th place. So yeah, the points are going to be tricky to work out because Talviku is also still way back. Just made his way past Jamie Law for 12th place is Talviku. So yeah, I think in fact it could be an overall win. No, it won't be because Carpenter's there on a 2-2 at the moment.
But at least getting on the podium.
Certainly on the podium
is
not beyond the realms of possibility here.
Tell you what, I mean, Jamie's caught him up, but the last couple of laps, Charlie has not buckled at all. Since then, he's kind of kept the gap. He's pretty consistent. Yes, I mean, Jamie's taken tenths out of him here and there, but Charlie does not look unwavered at all at the minute.
No, for sure. It's this is where the length of the race will start to kick in, because they've still got 15 minutes plus 2 laps. Lots of racing still to happen here for Charlie Heyman out in front. The Youth Rider Graduate first race in the REVO British Motocross Championship, fueled by Gulf Race Fuels adult class, and yeah, Jamie Carpenter trying to chase him down.
Yeah, and those extra 5 minutes, it makes a big difference. There goes Carpenter up the inside. They're racing for it. Charlie's not giving up. He's not yielding.
Heyman holds his line. Carpenter tries to go the inside, up the hill, up the Live Motocross hill, and yeah, alongside the hedgerow goes Jamie Carpenter. Has to try again on Charlie Heyman. Wow, this is a good scrap. Here comes Carpenter, throws it down alongside, and
Pinches
there
him up,
goes
yeah.
Jamie Carpenter right into the lead there. And this is absolutely what Carpenter would have wanted. He had 18 seconds over Walsh in that previous lap, so we're just keeping an eye on what Dylan can do, because he certainly was very, very fast in race 1 as well as in qualifying. So Carpenter, having taken the lead here, that will be all that he will want to do, and hold on to that and pull clear and seal up this overall championship win, which would be very nice. Overall race win, overall result.
Yeah, absolutely. What a way to end. As I said, you know, he came into this weekend already knowing that the championship had gone to Conrad Mewse. So what do you do? I mean, the best you can do is solidate second and win the weekend.
Absolutely.
And right now, he's on track for that.
Yeah, looking very good there. Adam Collins is currently up into 3rd place, so to give you an idea of how mixed up it is, Collins was 8th in race 1. He's currently 3rd. Carlton Husband, 4th at the moment. He was 14th in race 1, and Charlie Cole, currently in 5th, was down in 12th in race 1, so it's really all mixed up here. Dylan Walsh has worked his way up to 6th place now, and he's got a couple of seconds between himself and Charlie Cole, so it might be worth watching the number 53 as he approaches the other 2 Kawasaki's in front of him. They are certainly well within striking distance in the next lap or 2, you would feel.
We're going to get basically from 3rd back to about 7th or 8th now. Is going to be good racing to the flag. Definitely Walsh coming through. Tilvaki is not come through as I thought he would, I have to say.
No.
I thought he'd be getting a bit of a march on and follow Walsh all the way through, but you know, maybe he's from that he's from that incident. Maybe he's a bit sore, something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, feeling the sting. I mean, it was a heavy impact for both riders. One that sadly put paid to Kai Carsmaker's day, as my mate Steve gets a good shot on the camera there down the bottom corner. And yeah, up the hill comes Dylan Walsh. 6th place now, chasing down Charlie Cole, right on his rear wheel.
Yeah, he's obviously in that crash. You can say he's managed to keep hold of his peak, but the peak has been pushed down more than it normally would be. Surprised Dylan hadn't tried pushing that back up yet. You can see his peak's running pretty low.
Yeah, it is a bit 1970, isn't it? Down it comes around the outside of the far bottom hill there. Dylan Walsh taking over 5th place from Charlie Cole. Next on his shopping list is another Kawasaki, the Phoenix Even Strokes machine of Carlton Husband. And Dylan Walsh fires up the far hedgerow. Nice line on the far right of the track there, Jeff. You can see slightly lower trajectory, takes you further, not higher, which is obviously the ultimate game of jumping. Who's off on the side of the track there? Not quite, just don't think it's one of our leaders on the side of the circuit.
They're not around that side of the circuit yet. Heyman keeping the gap pretty honest, 1.6, so Carpenter hasn't got away too much.
No, the most important gap for Heyman, I think, will be the 10 seconds back to Adam Collins, so we can at least try and hang on a 2nd place. And I think
what if, obviously, if Walsh gets a 3rd, which is doable in his current speed that he's going here, would that give him the overall with a 1-3? I can't remember what Carpenter got in the opening moto.
Carpenter was 2nd, so 2-1 would get the overall for Carpenter. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, and yeah, it's but 3rd overall might be an option there. So we'll see. Yeah, Walsh has to go and win to take the overall, basically. So yeah, he's going to attack there. His main objective will be to get onto the box. It will really frustrate him if he hasn't won overall, though, I must confess.
It will. He's going to run that in there on.
There he goes.
Husband.
Walsh passes Husband there. That is for 4th place. So at the battle of the Kawasaki's, Walsh is back to being the top green bike again. And now he's trying to reel in Adam Collins. They had 4 seconds between them at the start of the lap. And Walsh can already see Collins just around the next couple of corners. So it is time then. There's going to be a Kawasaki battle continuing here, because Husband and Cole are still quite close together.
Yeah, Cole just spun up on that corner coming out there. Did he actually make it up the hill? He literally lost the back end just as we broke away from the camera shot. Nearly spun it round like we saw Dom Newbury do. Can't see him in shot, so I'm not sure if he made it up that hill. But he definitely lost the rear end, just broke away from him big time as he came out of that corner. So he might have gone down, we don't know. But now it looks like Carpenter has got his groove on. he's still there, Charlie Cole.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So, and now Carpenter's starting to drop Charlie Heyman. Still an amazing ride from Charlie, and he has got 11 seconds to work with over Adam Collins. So, it's looking good.
Yeah, absolutely. And at present, that would see Charlie on the podium because, Walsh, if he goes no further, Dylan Walsh, which I think is questionable, then, Walsh will be second overall as it stands right now, with Carpenter's 2-1 taking care of the overall win. But then Heyman, if it stays as it is now, and in fact he's got a bit of a buffer there, he can afford to lose another place, in fact, can Heyman, and he would still finish on the podium as it stands right now. The main rider to watch is Talviku, because he is currently looking at running fourth at the moment if he stays in ninth, but he's got Grimshaw not far ahead of him, Callum Mitchell further ahead from there, and if those two riders fall to him, then Talviku could well pit Heyman for the podium. But even so, for Heyman to even be in the podium discussion at this rate is pretty incredible for me, having known how tough it is to go from a 125 to a 250. That's such a transaction, and it's so good to see a rider of Heyman's caliber handle it so well.
Well, it's not just that even, is it? He's gone, not only has he gone from a 125 to a 250, he's gone from a 125 to a 250, but from youth racing straight into with the big boys on MX2. So it's double bubble, you know. He's made the big jump up, and of course, as we said, next year he'll be out there, you know, on the new True 7 Honda Academy team that would sit under the Crendon Fast Track Honda team, under the guidance of Jake Nichols, Guy Nichols, and Dave Thorpe. So he's basically in a really good position going forward. He's got a good team of people around him.
Oh, there goes Walsh past Adam Collins. So Dylan Walsh up there into third place now. So that is seeing Walsh right up into the sharp end here. There's he has to beat Jamie Carpenter to take the overall win, and at the start of this lap that would mean he had 17 seconds to make up. In the remaining, we've currently got 8.5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, so it's not impossible for Walsh to take this overall. It would be one hell of a charge, but it's certainly one to watch. From down in the first lap, can he get that far up? Wow, that was a bit sketchy coming into the rhythm section there. Spun up as he approached the waves, and it certainly is, but he can handle that. He knows Supercross.
I was just going to say that through that section, you know, listen, if you're going to be a top level Supercross rider, you've got to get used to taking off sideways. You know, you can't be that precise to hit every jump straight all the time if you want to win.
Yeah, absolutely true. Talviku has made his way past Mitchell and Grimshaw, so that sees him up to 7th place. He's still a couple of points shy of Heyman, though, so that at the moment he needs to be passing Charlie Cole and Carlton Husband to deny Heyman the podium if Heyman loses no more places.
You know, Dylan Walsh, it won't matter to him, like we said, too much where he finishes in the championship, because he kind of just obviously didn't start the year in the class anyway.
No.
So he was never really worried about that. It was always, you know, always going to be off the table once he switched back to MX2. But he'll still be annoyed with himself that he had the opportunity to win the overall here, and he still has, of course, but he was right there, you know, he was in the driving seat, he was in second or around that third corner or whatever and threw it away, and that will grate him.
Yeah, absolutely. And Talviku has made his way past Carlton Husband and Charlie Cole, now up into 5th place. So the Estonian took a while to get going in this race, but he's working his way up into 5th place now as Cole and Husband continue to battle over 6th place now, which is in the property of the number 6, Carlton Husband. But Charlie Cole wants a slice of that pie, and he's having a real attack at him as they go up the start straight hill. And Husband getting under attack from Charlie Cole. But with Talviku now working his way up into 5th place, that will see him level on points as it stands with Heyman. So that means Heyman would have to withstand the charge of Dylan Walsh, which is one hell of an ask for the young rider, with just over 6.5 minutes and 2 laps to go. So Walsh looking to advance his cause, of course, but it could well be at the expense of Charlie Heyman's podium if it stays like it is now.
That whole section in around
so
our TV truck there, when they land off the big tabletop, and then you've got about 15 feet, and then once you get past that, you've just got to commit to a rut, and then you're virtually in it all the way down around the corner, off the drop-off almost.
Yeah, 15 feet, then take your pick out of 15 ruts, I think, isn't it? Which are all about 15 feet long as well. Pretty crazy stuff. But, plus 15 metres long, I think, for some of those ruts there. But, so Walsh is charging up the hill now. Has he got Heyman in sight? I know our camera hasn't. He's getting there. There we go. Yeah, here he is. Charlie Heyman coming down the hill now with Dylan Walsh stalking him down. I'm sure that Heyman's team would not have foreseen that he would be in a battle with Dylan Walsh in the last quarter of the race here.
I think Charlie's starting to feel it now. You know, as we said, he's not quite used to the 250, the extra power, the extra weight. And he said he's been doing youth races, which are basically 20 minutes, the extra 5 plus, and an extra lap, because these guys get 2 laps, not 1 lap. So really that equates to an extra 10 minutes. So basically now, like Charlie's race normally all year would have been
pretty much done. Yeah, last lap time now for him. Yeah, that would have been, but now he's still got 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go. So yeah, what can Heyman do? Can he hang on to this? Talviku makes it worse for him. So Talviku moves up into a podium position overall. He moves up into 4th place past Adam Collins. So Jürgen Matthias Talviku looking to take his first podium since Fat Cat earlier in the year. And yeah, that would be a nice result for the Estonian. But yeah, as it stands right now, he is therefore going to deprive Charlie Heyman of the podium position, even if Charlie finishes where he is, which is highly debatable right now.
So Dylan Walsh, I can see what the issue is here. He keeps pushing his peak up.
Yeah.
So what's happened, obviously, in that crash, it's the bolts or whatever have come, you know, maybe just loosened a bit, and it keeps dropping down. So he keeps having to just pop it up with his hand. He did it again back then.
Especially with the weight or any roost that might come up. Like I say, it's not sticking to anything at the moment, is it, the roost? It's a bit drier there now. But yeah, even so, any impact will drop that peak down if there's nothing to hold it up.
I don't think the peak will come down and block his view altogether. It will only come down as low as the set will go. But if you're not used to that, it will be annoying.
He's now working on getting past Charlie Heyman for 2nd place. Still a stunning ride from the Youth 125cc champion from this season. And Heyman keeping his poise, keeping his composure. His lap times haven't dropped off an awful lot. And here comes the pure aggression and forceful nature of Dylan Walsh. He really is absolutely fired up for this. He gets right up into Heyman's wheel tracks, and Heyman looks over his left side, and over to the right side comes Walsh. Heyman outbreaks himself at the top of the hill. That's a real shame for Heyman, but yeah.
I'm laughing.
Somewhat inevitable.
I'll tell you why I'm laughing, because I can guarantee, if I want to find out afterwards, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Walsh was absolutely screaming his head off then to try to intimidate the youngster. I pretty much guarantee it. And the panic rev, the whole 9 yards, you know, and it's all these things that Charlie will have to get used to. I mean, there's a bit of that in youth racing, but when you get into adults, you know, they try to intimidate youngsters when you come in. Every rider that's come in from a young age, you know, or come in, happened to me, it happened to every rider before me, you know, like, it's just the way it is. You've got to sort of earn that respect with these lads. They'll try all those old moves on you to try and intimidate you. What did Dave Thorpe say about when he lined up next to Hagen Carquist the first time? He just leaned over on him, and Thorpe did his very best not to move. And when you got Hagen Carquist leaning on you, you know what I mean? I wouldn't want to push the guy back. No, that's it. Oh dear, so Dylan Walsh now then, 12 seconds, is that possible? Unlikely, I feel, 2.5 minutes plus the 2 laps. So yeah, it's going to be a tall order for Walsh to overcome Jamie Carpenter to deny the GRT Impact KTM man the overall win. Talviku is making progress there. He's got about 5 seconds between himself and Heyman in 3rd. But yeah, so for Walsh, the overall race win, and yeah, Carpenter's thinking about it. He's looking across the track as he crests the hill there towards the far end of the circuit. So Carpenter out in front, Walsh in 2nd, still Charlie Heyman in 3rd. Jürgen Matthias Talviku is there in 4th place ahead of Carlton Husband, who's held off Charlie Cole and actually passed Adam Collins in the meantime. So Husband moving up well nicely into 5th place. Collins, Cole 6th and 7th. Callum Mitchell, Liam Garland and Tom Grimshaw 8th, 9th and 10th. And Jamie Law is there in 11th place at the end of his... Get out of camera, Steve. I'll rib him about that later. I'll send him a screenshot. Yeah, Jamie Law, Alfie Jones, Sam Atkinson. Alfie Jones and Sam Atkinson renewing their battle from last year's MXY2 finale. Ben Franklin 14th and Mikey Ellis, a disappointing 15th for him. But we'll see how the rest of this race progresses. At the moment, it looks like the overall podium is going to be Jamie Carpenter 1st, Dylan Walsh 2nd, and Jürgen Matthias Talviku in 3rd. That's how it's going to pan out in the points as it stands. But Charlie Heyman with 4th overall will certainly be much more than he expected coming into this, and he's ridden his socks off and ridden beautifully out in the front. Yeah, absolutely has. He was shooting for top 6, I guess, you know, obviously overall, or maybe in the individual races, but he surpassed that. And as I said, he will finish the year off. He'll probably take a little bit of a rest, reset, not much, and then he'll get to work with his new team. And I'm just really intrigued to follow his career from here on in, because you know, as I said, You can't help it. We pin our hopes. We pin our hopes. You know, we want to see British riders like what Mark Morris was talking about with the foundation,
yes,
and all that kind of stuff. We are shy of British talent racing on GPs and EMX. We want to nurture the British talent and get back up there. There was a time where, obviously, we had a bunch of riders in contention, you know, for EMX titles and GPs back in the day and what like that. And Charlie's got the potential, as has Bobby Bruce, and we need to put a formula in place and get teams like Jake. That's what I'm really excited about. And Lee Toland at Acer, you know, getting behind British young talent.
Yes. All Carpenter
out of their own pocket, I might add.
Yes.
So yeah, good on him. Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see his development, Charlie's further development.
Yeah, for sure. I think, you know, although we do tend to like to look back towards the two-stroke era, we've got to admit that four-strokes are the future. We want to make sure that we get the riders up and out there and enjoying it. And I think it will help this sport massively in this country if we had a genuine world beater up there. I think that for sure that is what British Motocross misses, I think, more than anything else, is to get somebody up there who can challenge at the very top and reignite that interest in modern motocross in this country. Because you can tell from Foxhill that the interest is there for this sport. If it's there and it's going to be good and it's going to be able to cheer somebody on, then you can get down to, and you can fill a valley. You know, you can fill a motocross track with spectators if you've got the right people there. And I just think we need a good rider to get up front and challenge the top, and then I think British motocross could be close to all singing, all dancing again. Yeah,
it'd be great to see. As you said, GPs, you know, you can talk about the state of the sport as much as you want and where we're at, obviously the numbers on their lines and all that kind of stuff. That's by the by, you know, still a world championship, it's still the EMX, whatever it is, and you still need or want British riders at the sharp end. You know, like, okay, it hasn't gone the way of Ben Watson, how he wanted it like to be this year, but we need more than just Ben out there to cheer
we really do.
On,
yes,
you
absolutely. Know? But anyway, as we speak right now, we have got 2 laps to go then. Our race leader, Jamie Carpenter, has taken the 2-lap board. He's got 5.8 seconds ahead of Dylan Walsh, who can just about make out the 184 in the distance there. So we'll see what can be done there for Dylan Walsh with his Goswell Limited helmet on Jamie Carpenter's head there. Is out in front, and Walsh is looking to hunt him down.
I'll tell you what, he is absolutely ripping. I'm sure Jamie on the GRT Impact Machine has got it in check. He's been looking around enough to know, but honestly, Walsh is probably closer to him than Jamie would like at this stage.
Yeah.
He is closing and closing fast. I don't know how much Jamie's got in the tank. Well, what are we on, the last half a lap here, or 3/4 of a lap? Or
we've still got 2 laps to go, so about a lap and a half to go. So, well, yeah, it's
on then, actually. I'll tell you what, look at the speed he's closing in. Yeah. That is not 5.8 seconds from when they crossed the line. No way. He has probably taken another 1.5 seconds out of him in half a lap here. He is absolutely all in, Dylan Walsh, at this point. He is going for it. And why wouldn't he? He wants to win the overall. He can't win the championship. No. You know, all that kind of stuff. Just go out on a high. Jamie will also want to take the overall. He's got 2nd lockdown in the championship, but he hasn't won an overall this year so, you know, it's all in again.
Yeah,
We've
absolutely.
seen some great racing today.
It's been studied right to the close of the race here. Then Jamie Carpenter looking to take his 2nd overall win. Of course, he took the overall at Foxhill, but of course, you know, there were circumstances there with a penalty for another rider. So yeah, Carpenter looking to take maybe a first clean overall win, which is what it would be. But Walsh is looking to deny him that, and coming up there behind them is, like I say, it's not 5.8 seconds. Carpenter looked up, he saw the green Kawasaki approaching, so he knows he's there. Talviku has moved past Heyman into 3rd place there, which is where he will finish overall if it stays like this. And then we've got husband Cole, Liam Garland coming up to 7th place. Is a nice ride. And now 1 lap to go board then. Last lap time for Jamie Carpenter. The gap across the line has dropped to 3.490, 3.5 seconds between Carpenter and Walsh. That meant he caught up by 2 and a bit seconds there, so Walsh needs to just turn up the wick a little bit more, and he's got a chance of this race win and overall win as well. What a showdown here at the last race of the MX2 Championship. Great stuff here. Carpenter up the hill. Walsh in close contention. He's winding it on. That throttle has got setting number 11, has been reached there by Dylan Walsh.
It's spinal tap.
It.
It's a spinal tap moment. Yeah, it's up to 11. The volume's cranked up. I'll tell you what, he is ripping. I thought Jamie had enough to work with at 3.4 seconds, but I don't think so much now, because even in that first few corners around the start and whatever, Walsh, it's on. He is absolutely, it's on. it could all come down to that little switchback, those last couple of corners.
Really
if
could.
he goes on this rate. Oh yeah, he's definitely
so
on
close.
it. Oh wow.
Here's the crowd that's coming in here.
And this is what I'll tell you this much. I know that Dylan Walsh will go straight for the jugular. There'll be no like, oh, I think I know where I get him. As soon as he's close enough to run it in there, he's running it in there. I'm telling you.
Well, we didn't know if it was going to be possible when Walsh went piling into the Dawson training banner on the first lap. But look at this, big stain on his shirt. Oh no, Walsh is absolutely flying up this hill and he's in the wheel tracks of Carpenter. He's eating his roost and we never thought that was going to happen. Up the hill they go together. Can Carpenter hang on to it? He nearly landed on him up that jump. Here they come down the big hill. If you're Carpenter, you want to launch a long way or you're going to have a Kawasaki on your head. Down comes Carpenter the hill. The very last few corners here.
It's got to be here. I can't see out unless he just on the last corner. Unless
I think it's last corner.
Unless he literally just gets close enough on the last corner to just block past him in some way. Jamie's got to go inside. He's got to go inside here.
Here comes Walsh. Wide. Up the uphill step jump. Carpenter hugs the inside front and he just about... Oh! Walsh off the side of the track and... Wow, maximum effort, Dylan Walsh, and he's furious with himself that he didn't take that win. But what a finish there, and Walsh, absolute frustration from Dylan Walsh.
What I say about Dylan Walsh, don't ever criticise his commitment, ever.
Absolutely incredible. Well, Jeff is going to pop down to see Jamie Carpenter at the winner's enclosure there, so we'll see what Jamie has to say and see how high his heart rate spiked at that point where Walsh was right on him in that final corner. Amazing effort there. Great to hear some crowd reaction as well, even from inside the booth we heard you shouting, so great that that excitement has translated through here.
Right, we're in the winner's circle with the overall winner on the weekend here at Landrake, taking the race winning as well. He just said, have you got the bike? Because I'm about to fall down. Jamie, you've had a brilliant year, an incredible year. What a way to wrap it up. But you just said you was under severe pressure at the end there.
Oh yeah, definitely. The start was a bit complicated. A load of people came together, but I managed to keep it on two wheels. I don't know how, but fair play to Charlie. He was gone on the first lap, and I managed to reel him in and get past. And then just tried to focus on my own race, but I saw Dylan come in, so I had to just do what I can to manage it at the end. But yeah, so good to bring it home. Last race of the year. What a way to end it.
What a way to end it indeed. What a way to end it indeed. Did you kind of expect, I mean, we know what you're going to get from Dylan, but I thought you had a bit more to work with. But were you even surprised how the last two laps, how quickly he got on the back of you?
Yeah, I mean, the track after the rain this week is so difficult, and I felt like when I had more to push, but when I pushed, it seemed to make more mistakes. Yeah. So yeah, but either way, it brought it home, so that's the main thing.
Let's just quickly talk about your season, mate. It's been an exceptional one. You know, obviously Conrad's a tough guy to beat, but, you know, and that's all due respect. So second, you know, probably at the start of the year, did you have a go? Everybody wants to win a championship, but just try and sort of review your season and wrap it up.
Unreal, really. I came in with like minimal prep over the winter. Didn't start riding until like middle of January after my second ACL reconstruction. The goal was just to try and get on the podium and get that done, which I managed to do that at 4 rounds of the 8. So that's great. Yeah, and bring home 2 first overall. So yeah, over the moon.
A little indication there. Maybe you should rest up more often in the winter, and, you know, so you're refreshed, ready to go. Jamie, well done on the overall win. Brilliant. Well done on a brilliant season. Jamie Carpenter taking the overall win here at the REVO British Championship, fueled by Gulf Fuels. Nice one on his GRT impact machine. Well done.